Did you think I'd forgotten you? Perhaps you hoped I had.
Lateral back the track, Admiral smack the whack, natural facts, syntax, fractional tax, exact system reboot, as my eyes compute, acute system analysis, dude I'm hot in pursuit, transmute through a few new electromagnetic waves, to a cell phone, rematerialize and take out his legs in pain, he stumbles and struggles to his feet, amazing, imagine a single faceless agent trying to face me, replace me, as the other forces in cyberspace supplant me with riot plague, feeding off the entire race, so I use extensive knowledge primarily, binary code to speak, second hand commands to the man here implodes, his modem overloads and he leaks out of existence, every insignificant microfilament exposed within an instance, and now for the basics, from the Babylon plague to the photovoltaic, feel your body shapeshift latent as you enter the matrix. It's a slave new world controlled by ideogrammic holograms. Big brother watching the streets filled with pentagrammic chronograms. Programs on at hyperspeed, natural food, supercomputers, span dimensional rifts. List of algorithms predict the future consumers play right into the plans and spiteful devising. Never realizing the patronizing system, steady globalizing. Control and command over the lands of their dominion. Rockefeller minions living bilious and vindictive. A vision of our dynamics extracted out by the DOD. Thousands of robots mass produced to aid in COG. That's continuity of government forces raping your paycheck. While the banks discuss negative interest, ain't shit I ain't say yet. They meant when they said you'd be a slave from cradle to grave. Now it's ingrained in your brain how you should behave the way they say it. Another automaton for Satan. True knowledge is the death of the Masons. That's why the Matrix is break. Anthropomorphic byte code, prison guard constructs are more of a threat than any other gang. Selling narcotics, the products we consume are becoming more synthetic. Eventually our globe will be overthrown if we let it. A critical eccentrics with the awakening that you feel. I'm not user built, but I'm still the champion of my own new deal. A few squeal like pigs at the thought of getting rich. But what if I told you that it was the very money that got you living there, sitting in a prison built by your own apathy? Take the red pill, open your eyes to what's happening. It's maddening to feel so low and insignificant like a slow motion train wreck. And you're forced to witness it, but listen and take an action on two completely different things between extremes, like being torn apart in vivid dreams. All diversity is not a fault, actually it's our greatest strength. The keys to unchain yourself reside in your own brain.
That's right, I'm still smoking.
I was standing on the corner just wasting my time when I realized I was the king of the grime. I went to the studio and recorded some tracks. Now I got my own record steady banging on wax. Free to download, to do whatever the hell you want with it. This music's uplifting, so stop living insipid, you're gifted. Maybe not with the rhymes like me do. But if you don't try to find, you never know what your life might be. Truth is straight to the fiction, a living contradiction. When I'm a sinner or a saint, can't escape a finite existence. What was born must die, so I try to prepare myself for it. At least it's something better than nothing, like all the others ignore distorted conceptions of the point of elections. And all the patriotism, critical thought is what's neglected. Reflections are those praying for change, still hoping. The energetical principle with the mic, I'm still smoking, choking. I cough so much my lungs might be broken spoken. The words that I had me hunted like Edward Snowden open. Audition to get shook to death like a rodent loading. Token, corrosion, that's why I'm still smoking, choking. I cough so much my lungs might be broken spoken. The words that had me hunted like Edward Snowden open. Audition to get shook to death like a rodent loading. Token, corrosion, that's why I'm still smoking. 2 years ago, a friend of mine asked me to write him a tight-ass rhyme, so I wrote this rap that I'm about to say. It blew his goddamn mind and it went this way. They call me the night owl, you know, cause I hardly ever sleep. Dark circles under my eyes, cause my life is incomplete, the future's bleak. But I'm too angry to ever give up. I strike at an opportune moment like my name was Hiccup. A bishop can move far, but he's still up under the king. Like how the upper middle class are used by the elite. I'll never sing and dance like a sellout pop star. I'll probably get stopped and shot in the back of a fucking cop car. It's not far from the Senate to the CFR. Coincidence? I think not. So who could be in charge of the country? The money's the same from New York to Oakland. The system's still broken. That's why I'm still smoking, choking. I cough so much my lungs might be broken spoken. The words that I had me hunted like Edward Snowden open. Or just get shook to death like a rodent loading. Token, corrosion, that's why I'm still smoking, choking. I cough so much my lungs might be broken spoken. The words that I had me hunted like Edward Snowden open. Auditions to get shook to death like a rodent loading. Token, corrosion, that's why I'm still smoking.
From the cradle to the grave, what's more consistent than death and taxes?
It's just the world that we live in, man. Everybody takes chances. There's no do-overs. Life lies before you. Expands it. The most successful species is always the most adapted. That's why smoke is always consistent like more death than taxes. It's just the world that we're living in, man. Everybody takes chances. There's no do-overs. Life lies before you. Expands it. The most successful species is always the most adapted. That's why smoke is always considered like more death than taxes. Prophylaxis. Active in the truest sense of the word. I'll stand up for truth till I'm 6 feet deep in the dirt. Flirting with disaster like a Molly Hatchet record. Politicians a flaky face like a colony of lepers. The DOD spends billions every year on space planes, but can't even seem to secure their own database mainframes. The same games they play to take us down the road to war. What did you think the billions of rounds of hollow points was for? Ignore the flag waving morons talking about support the troops. They won't be happy till they're getting stomped to death with American boots. DHS, FBI, NSA, it makes no difference. CNN and Fox News both promote imperialism. You're missing the whole point if you vote for Bernie Sanders, because he's just another state is promoting baseless double standards, mandatory vaccines, and hype about the Zika virus on TV. Do you remember when measles and Ebola were like the exact same goddamn thing? It's just the world that we're living in, man. Everybody takes chances. There's no do-overs. Life lies before you. Expansion. The most successful species is always the most adaptive. That's why smoke is always consistent like more death than taxes. It's just the world that we're living in, man. Everybody takes chances. There's no do-overs. Life lies before you. Expansion. The most successful species is always the most adaptive. That's why smoke is always consistent like more death than taxes. The masses are attracted to the most comforting lies. That's why Ron Paul was attacked as being unwise. Time flies when you're trapped in a polyurethane culture where politicians are immortalized and larger than life sculptures. They used to say to us as kids, anyone can be the president, and that they're all related to Freemasons is really fucking irrelevant, but it's not. Even Obama's distantly related to Dick Cheney. Why is it only rich, mostly white assholes debating and making policy in the land where we live in, with some token ethnicities and power-hungry women? I'm giving over the can a man like Michael Hastings can be assassinated while the news is placating. Every one of them other dudes, they're so fucking full of it. I got so tired of the contrived lies and all of that fucking bullshit that I made my own website and called it Too Real News. Now do you know why a man like Smoke's always rapping about the blues? Just the way that we live in, man. Everybody takes chances. There's no do-overs. Life lies before you. Expansive. The most successful species is always the most adaptive. That's why smoke is always consistent like more death than taxes. Yo, it's Smoke, still broke on the west side. Don't need a vest for my chest or a tech. Non-respect rhymes with true lyrical content. Despond it, nonsense about the limit. What's beyond it? No profit could have predicted my ascension to the stage. I'm full of rage. I live in 4 dimensions. I'm venting every single time I put my pen to paper. More than a bowl of lentils or a mental masturbator, not a faker that projects a false image. Train my mainframe so smoke can run the distance. I'm living so true to roots. I struggle every day. All of the things I see might just blow your ass away. Okay, I've been shot at, live my life on the edge. I put my motherfucking life on every word that I said. Classic hip hop shit. Smoke is always true to roots. So fuck the government, fuck the war, and fuck the troops. It's use of language, but it's time to grow the fuck up. They're working for a system killing millions. So what? You see, a politician wouldn't touch me, but they dumbass will. The finger behind the trigger is the reason blood spilled. Pills made from the opiates, taken in the war on drugs. Do you really think the United Nations gives a flying fuck? What will you do when the doors gets kicked in and every phone call you ever make is listened to by a computer in a safe database with life erased, a laser station orbit high in aerospace? Waste the taxpayer money while they cut off your welfare. You know, apathy to control, so who in the fucking hell cares? Shell paired with BP making millions a year. You see, they're the 1% with the millions that they fear. Steering society into a fucked up direction when no one thinks outside the contrived predilection. So many said I couldn't rap because I'm white. All the bigots can't dig it, but I know they ain't right. Like hip-hop culture's never been strictly black, but so many push racism disguised as conscious rap. The word graffiti's Italian, the first taggers were Greece. Latinos were among those first dancing to rap beats. In the street with Russians working on the first synthesizer. Shakespeare's whole works is like one big cipher. That's the beauty behind the music that I love. I'll never let them ruin it with all the wannabe thugs. This is music for everyone, no matter what your color. If you love hip-hop, I consider you a sister, a brother. The division between us meant to keep our minds small, because united we stand and divided we fall. Cutting through all the bullshit, you know, the chips and the wits. To the conscious MC, stand tall and never forsake true to roots, and the salt will never forsake you.
Once again, it's the one and only Smoke. You know, this time around, I got some questions for you, man. Something like this.
How many more people need to starve in the street? How much more land needs to be stripped of trees? How many more people need to die overseas before you see this country was never for you or me? How much more ocean floor needs to be destroyed? How many more 1,000 troops need to be deployed? How many more scandals will it take before you see that the system we live in was never for you or me? I don't watch TV, but I know people who do. Shit's kinda spooky when you know the programs they running through. NLP and optic cycle stunning you, producing alpha waves that bathe your brain into a state of utter dazed, amazed. Okay, hey, how about you get on your computer, go out and read a book? Research and challenge your brain until it's overstood what the truth is when it comes to our leaders. The cheaters mistreat us and get their slaves to kill us and beat us. News media feed us lies like the days of Citizen Kane. But it's always been that way. Okay, see, people never change. At least not as a species, believe me. But it's seeming individuals do. In fact, it's never been about all of them. It's really been about you. The way you live your life as a truly free human being. Not just dreaming, but seeing a meaning when you're competing. Believing the purpose of life is a better person to know when the perseveres can be considered worthless versus purchase. Never let the TV heads tell you what to believe in. The screen could say eat poison and the motherfuckers would eat it. The treatment bestowed upon all other types of living beings would lead to agreement. Some of us may as well be demons. The powers that be use the money to keep us divided. Yet it's not like people need much help to start fighting. Small-minded bigots, every color and creed, a source of detritus leads me to believe that David's really his own Goliath. How many more people need to starve in the street? How much more land needs to be stripped of trees? How many more people need to die overseas before you see this country was never for you or me? How much more ocean floor needs to be destroyed? How many more thousand troops need to be deployed? How many more scandals will it take before you see that the system we live in was never for you or me? I feel that cold shoulder, but I just don't trip over it. Still, I wish there was a way for me to make everyone get sober quick, so I can question quite candidly actually what the fuck is happening. Blathering media manatee, sprattling, battling, gathering in the covers just like the witches of old. So I'm told that when you look in Rupert Murdoch's eyes, you can't see a soul, just a troll trying to control your whole narrative. Awareness is to be skeptical of State Department funded propaganda, imperatives, operatives, opulent, Oculus, Dominus, drones, domestic autonomous, while the TSA train the Gestapo goons on just how to fondle us anonymous on the web, trying to combat the evil we fight for control. Opposition keeps us from seeing the people unite. Distrust rules our hearts while the prison planet's gaining ground. Thus imaginary chains are all it takes to weigh us down. I know it's not fun to acknowledge that a planet's in torment, because then you might feel some fucking responsibility for it. Never let the TV heads tell you what to believe in. The screen could say eat poison and the motherfuckers would eat it. The treatment bestowed upon all other types of living beings would lead to agreement. Some of us may as well be demons. The powers that be use the money to keep us divided. Yet it's not like the people need much help to start fighting. Small-minded bigots, every color and creed, a social detritus leads me to believe that David's really his own Goliath. Never let the TV heads tell you what to believe in. The screen could say eat poison and the motherfuckers would eat it. The treatment bestowed upon all other types of living beings would lead to agreement. Some of us may as well be demons. The powers that be use the money to keep us divided. Yet it's not like the people need much help to start fighting. Small-minded bigots, every color and creed, a social detritus leads me to believe that David's really his own Goliath.
So there it is, and there you have it. Only one question remains, and it's a rhetorical one, motherfucker. How many more? Think about it, if only for a moment. Think about it. This is the one and only Smoke, signing off.
True gangsterism, the youth won't listen. Ain't a motherfucking thing cool about going to prison. True gangsterism, I'm everything a gangster isn't. The real gangsters are the bankers, fun of the murder of millions. True gangsterism, the youth won't listen. Ain't a motherfucking thing cool about going to prison. True gangsterism, I'm everything a gangster isn't. The real gangsters are the bankers, fun of the murder of millions. True gangsterism, not just another damn rap album or a broke-ass dope class about slanging that talcum powder. Just because we live in a nation that devours its own doesn't mean you gotta act cowardice on your own and idolize the men you think have the power. But I can tell you why you're wrong, and it won't take no damn hour. Just a couple minutes if your ass gon' listen. Past the symbolism eliciting specific visions, a world where no free man can resist or react. Tried under the Anti-Terrorism and Effective Death Penalty Act. Just another motherfucking corpse at the foot of the pile, because you wouldn't speak against the politicians getting wild. Losing touch with any semblance or remnant of accountability. The reality of mass apathy is a travesty. It's really killing me. I'm doing everything I can to inform you so you care. It's not about boasting or selling out to be a millionaire. True gangsterism, the youth won't listen. Ain't a motherfucking thing cool about going to prison. True gangsterism, I'm everything a gangster isn't. The real gangsters are the bankers for the murder of millions. True gangsterism, the youth won't listen. Ain't a motherfucking thing cool about going to prison. True gangsterism of everything a gangster isn't. The real gangsters are the bankers, fund of the murder of millions. True gangsterism, they got the country by the balls, not some crack selling car thief puffing on menthols. The rappers on the radio, all the so-called OGs, are a bunch of fake ass losers. They don't run countries. Hell, they don't even run a goddamn business. So they promote a plastic lifestyle they ain't even living, disrespecting women like somehow they're better than them. But I think most males in this country are just a sorry excuse for men who no honor or truth, loyalty or ambition to boot. True gangsters wear suits and got diversified loot, apologies in the tube in their pocket, real estates, bonds and stocks. No need to carry Glocks cause they got the cops on lock. So stop pretending to being self-destructive is fool, because a lot of these pranksters have their whole fan base fooled while they make chump change paid by middlemen, CEOs, to keep you distracted from the men and women who run the globe. True gangsterism, the youth won't listen. Ain't a motherfucking thing cool about going to prison. True gangsterism of everything a gangster isn't. The real gangsters are the bankers, fund of the murder of millions. True gangsterism, the youth won't listen. Ain't a motherfucking thing cool about going to prison. True gangsterism of everything a gangster isn't. The real gangsters are the bankers, fund of the murder of millions. True gangsterism, the youth won't listen. Ain't a motherfucking thing cool about going to prison. True gangsterism of everything a gangster isn't. The real gangsters are the bankers, fund of the murder of millions. True gangsterism, the youth won't listen. Ain't a motherfucking thing cool about going to prison. True gangsterism of everything a gangster isn't. The real gangsters are the bankers, fund of the murder of millions.
I picked a coin out my pocket, threw it in the wishing well. Never knew if it came true, but I think it's just as well, because this hell that they got you and I both living in. You see, we're just a couple products of the mental conditioning, envisioning, just scraping by the minimum wage, like the Smashing Pumpkins say, a fucking rat in a cage. We're wage slaves to the big banks, JP Morgan Chase, with Citigroup, Wells Fargo, and the B of A. Besides Saddam Hussein, get strung up and slain. But when it comes to Bin Laden, not a goddamn thing. Don't expect change from Illuminati puppets. They feed us symbols and lies just for the motherfuck of it. Sunderance, utterance, the mother of all deceptions. Another life sentence to live without inspection. Elective, surgical addiction. Junkies, washed away his corrupt elections. Running, stunning, the control of Rahm Emanuel in Chicago. Listen to the bullets scream. Industry staccato, El Dorado is the golden land of the flim flam. Duplicitous idiots unveiling scam after scam. And a populace just dumb enough to believe in a sequence of events meant to do logical reason. Appeal to emotion, critical thinking is broken. Just another day in America, dude, the land of the road. Open up a book and see the history of our people. Drone strikes by the hundreds, dude, the president's evil. Lethal aid given to Israeli apartheid. Cluster bombs dropping over Gaza by starlight. Archetypal depictions of the wars in the media. Drop the Rolling Stone, read a damn encyclopedia. Leukemia combined with sickle cell anemia. Devastate the masses, fascist mind, schizophrenia. Obscene to the common man as any descent to the politically correct events said condensed into a half hour of news spew for the minds of the sheep. Repeated 1,000 times until your mental fatigue. The fog in your thoughts comes from the sodium fluoride. The poison in your veins from a lifetime of bromide. Oh my word, they're putting poison in the food. Like MSG, dude, I worked at restaurants, food. Few have enough balls to call it how it is. That's why I'm ostracized while I struggle to live. Catching a bid in the pen just for selling narcotics. The same one they use in all the pills and their products. Obstruction of justice on a governmental level. Cruising down the block, speakers bumping heavy metal. Wishing there was a way for my tunes to reach you. Cause if they did, kid, then my wish came true. I hope yours does too. I hope you know that life's a joke. And it's true, the joke's on you. I hope you know that life's a joke. And it's true, the joke's on you. I wanted to give your mind something to do. New like infants, infinite distance that the message travels through the battle swoop. Rattling cages, packing truth, gathering latest on active food. Scattering pages, spatter, spoof of masculine phases. Fuck a racist, justice, rapists, bigots, every creed and color. CD snakes the TV makes people wanna kill each other. Undercover agents, station patient, waiting, passing placement. Chasing phantoms, memorandums meant to find your guns and grab them. Don't let them have them. Can you fathom how much water Nestle owns? High amounts of body counts is just a part of deadly drones like pregnant zone. Your mind is dying, coinciding with the plan. No one fighting to withstand the trans expansive quick demands. Expand the border, new world order. The killing fields may never cease. You can't believe the words they weave for their own wealth increase. The Middle East, no room for peace, at least not from the USA. The blood is filled with millions killed and martial law is on the way. I hope you know that life's a joke. And it's true, the joke's on you. I hope you know that life's a joke. And it's true, the joke's on you. Infinite wisdom to soar is yours if only you start to listen. Material wealth and knowledge yourself on a crash course for collision and listen to mystic, sadistic, insipid, but not conflicted or wicked inside the minds of a victim. So pilgrim on the quest for the truth, never excuse intrude. The minds of the youth are being seduced by the television. Reminiscent conditions elicit cognitive malnutrition. The populace either wrapped up in one of their new age prophets or completely self-centered, ill-tempered. It's beyond time to stop it. The truth is that the truth has never really been hidden, but written and given and bidden to quicken admittance with no restriction. Time has no limit. In fact, the very concept is relative, tentative, relevance. One might find unsettling, but better than stumbling around with antiquated ideas of hiding your insecurities and all the pharmacopoeias. Never go into replace an acquisitive heart and open mind, but be sure to guard it well, else it could get stolen blind. The symbols bombarding your thoughts are controlling your perception, and infected photoreception becomes all that you're left to. So how do we break it, escape it, evade it? Or intellectual serfdom, disturbing the futures of certain. So let me tell you ad verbum, question everything, even your most deeply held convictions, because thoughtless actions follow repercussions for those who didn't listen, but to those who do. The song's for you, the future of our race. Never let hate and fear steal the reins of your faith. The sun on your face, but the chill still makes you shiver and quiver, like your sister's liver's been eaten by a wyvern at the cistern that serves as the fountain of life. Spirit, science, quackery about the sacred symbol of light. 7 shades made by the wicked to deceive, to believe in massive the same rays of the new age. Inspired the German fashion, the tacit approval of insanity is all that they require. Until common sense is suspended, your mainframes rewind. The dire circumstances we find ourselves in today is the notion that those hoping to hide the truth away could ever be the ones to disseminate it right back to you, as though they wouldn't look in your eyes and lie, promise Xanadu. Superstition and religion, politicians and tradition, it's like living on an insane asylum planet in prison. But it's not as though freedom is completely out of our reach. You simply need to reconsider every facet of what you believe. Is it just what you see, what you read, or is it what you need? You don't have to be deceived by things preconceived and greed. Look around yourself, close your eyes, breathe deeply and feel relief. Let the tension go a moment like smoke hitting a summer breeze. Indeed, what I spit
cleaves through Rosicrucian, Shriners, Templars, Deception, vendors centered as assembled members enter in the hopes that they'll learn some great big secret of life, when in reality they're assuming consuming just another lie. Because when people don't find a meaning to life, then they make one up. Now ponder that a couple minutes, because wisdom can be corrupt. Just think about it. Think about it. GMO, weeks ago, we all know it's slowly killing us. The profits far away, the cost of life is how they're dealing us. Filling us with tampered genes and heavy metals, triple toxic. And pesticides, they're quick to hide. Now tell me what's the logic? GMO needs to go, we all know it's slowly killing us. The profits far away, the cost of life is how they're dealing us. Filling us with tampered genes and heavy metals, triple toxic. And pesticides, they're quick to hide. Now tell me what's the logic? Flare-ups in your lungs from a chemical agent. Bio research firms spurned by the great mind Satan. Genetic modification of all life on the planet for real. You might think you know the answers deep, but I know it's deep, but still some say this. They have to recreate man in their own images, but that's a bit too far, though the truth is just as insidious. They're actually manipulating just enough for a legal patent. Not true recombinants of the genome, but just a feeble accent. Even the most advanced scientists know less than they'd ever admit, which is why I try to decrypt the script within stops they inflict. You're eating GMOs, not because they care, but because they don't. And so you become tampered with, just like the mice that they clone. None of it's the brave new world that they promised yesterday, of every DNA owned so that vicious nerds can get paid. Fuck Bill Gates, Bill Jordan, John Ramsey, and Peter Thiel. Watch as Goldman Sachs announces a new Monsanto Syngenta merger deal. GMO needs to go, we all know it's slowly killing us. The profits far away, the cost of life is how they're dealing us. Filling us with tampered genes and heavy metals, triple toxic. And pesticides, they're quick to hide. Now tell me what's the logic? GMO needs to go, we all know it's slowly killing us. The profits far away, the cost of life is how they're dealing us. Filling us with tampered genes and heavy metals, triple toxic. And pesticides, are quick to hide. Now tell me what's the logic? Chemtrails unfurl the grid patterns all across the horizon. That's geoengineering if you haven't yet mapped the contrivance, combined with incitement of ocean toxification. So they're given to a system, corporate colonialism on nation, or at least its government, and many others worldwide, like China, Russia, and Britain, all living under the all-seeing eye. My word is bond. BT kills honeybees. What do you think it does to us in large enough quantities? You dine inside from the very food that you eat, and you'll find the fluoride in the water you drink lowers IQ in children, keeping the people domesticated. PTSD vaccines and secret chemical agents, man, I hate it. Persuaded to fight despite the likes of the media inquisitors. Mass shootings, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, sinister visits from government agents to social opposition. GM products should be illegal, man. Fuck corrupt politicians. GMO needs to go, we all know it's slowly killing us. The profits far away, the cost of life is how they're dealing us. Filling us with tampered genes and heavy metals, triple toxic. And pesticides are quick to hide. Now tell me what's the logic? GMO needs to go, we all know it's slowly killing us. The profits far away, the cost of life is how they're dealing us. Filling us with tampered genes and heavy metals, triple toxic. And pesticides are quick to hide. Now tell me what's the logic? Once again, it's the one and only Smoke. This time around, I got some questions for you, man. Just think on it. What is the purpose
of life on this earth? And how can you breathe when your head's still submerged underneath the waves in a sea full of blood? When life is despised and mass death is beloved, I must ask some questions, more specifically why? Why must all the good people suffer and die? Why do the wicked run the whole damn planet? And why does the TV promote hatred of Hispanics? Bigotry of every kind of foreign immigrants living with distrust of fellow Islamic American citizens. The ugly truth about this country is finally surfacing. Never forget how the cops reacted in Ferguson. You know my heart's with the people, one day we'll all be together. That's why I'm gonna die assassinated like Medgar Evers, forever in love with this world's convalescence. Now if only the human me, please think on these questions.
Do you know why all the stars shine at night? Do you know why we all stare at the sky? Do you know what comes next after this life? Do you know minds can move faster than light? Do you know why all the stars shine at night? Do you know why we all stare at the sky? Do you know what comes next after this life? And did you know minds can move faster than light? Right?
How can you let others dictate your reality? And who decides what is a logical fallacy? When will the people finally stand up and fight? What makes the president worth more than you and I? People starve in the street in the land of the free. So how does perpetual war spread democracy? It doesn't. It just makes KBR rich, while Blackwater mercenaries assassinate kids. It's just another day for the Federal Reserve, bankrolling murder, but stealing trillions of dollars first. Usury is just another ancient form of theft. The EPA stealing an asthmatic's last breath. Swept under the rug, global warming's a hoax to introduce carbon credits. A greedy crew joke. No child left behind unless it's Trayvon Martin. Miriam Carey murdered by the DC Police Department.
Do you know why all the stars shine at night? Do you know why we all stare at the sky? Do you know what comes next after this life? Did you know minds can move faster than light? Do you know why all the stars shine at night? Do you know why we all stare at the sky? Did you know what comes next after this life? And do you know minds can move faster than light? Right?
Many people will try to discourage your inquisitive nature, but you must never stop asking the difficult questions. Most of us have less than 30,000 days alive on this planet. That's far too little time to waste it living a lie. That's why I encourage honesty and a culture of truth. Don't be blinded by the toxic culture of consumerism. And always let those questions resonate in your heart. Never let your curiosity and wonderment die. Never.
Somebody asked me for a weed song. I thought I'd give him the greatest of all time. Only 16 bars though. Get ready.
Roll on the weed, no stems to seize the life I lead. For chronic leaves, a constant need. Bubonic weed, the high exceeds the highest reads. Ignite a dream of Caesar green. The death of greed, his team succeed. In tandem, manager, fantasist, mandolin, random abandoned rap anthems. Perhaps it's all the smoke that's getting the best of my head. But the wisest words ever spoken with those supposed to be left unsaid. And set into a throne, the stone was simply a single sacred breath. Except a man like smoke will smoke till death possess. A goddamn weed junkie. Tell you never let a record company punk me, sonny. No man would ever be worth my self-respect, dummy. So you can elect to step in a different direct from me. With all the materialistic bullshit you're spewing. You say you wanna change the world, but what are you really doing to bring about the changes you want to see, to be? Cause you can lie to yourself, but you can't lie to me. I know you're scared, but that's just another reason to smoke a doobie. Doobie, 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 doobie. Back to tell your ass that you just never know. Hey yo, Big L, man, why don't you tell them how it is? You never know when you're gonna get wet. This man comes to catch a wreck with a tech just to get a rep. You never know, you never know, you never know when you're gonna get wet. This man comes to catch a wreck with a tech just to get a rep. You never know, you never know, you never know. Rappers stepping to me, they wanna get some, let them try, and I might need to mention the dissension is like the national pastime, and I'm pretty good on a list at laying down the fucking fast rhyme. A glass of wine at a bone bubbling helps me through the struggle and juggle a job, a hobby and a life, no time for fumbling, losing touch with the reality of life in the street. Where to get a meal to eat, you gotta work with greedy creeps and treat each day like it might be your last one. So hold your loved ones close and always follow your passion. I'm asking questions that might make the masses squirm, like how can we stand for peace when the Middle East still burns? Turn from the darkness and walking towards the light. When aside how material things are worth a human life. So smoke a couple bowls, yo, and take life slow. Keep a heater on your hip, ready to go, because you never know. You never know when you're gonna get wet. This man comes to catch a wreck with a tech just to get a rep. You never know, you never know, you never know. You never know when you're gonna get wet. This man comes to catch a wreck with a tech just to get a rep. You never know, you never know, you never know. Any rappers ever have a million acres of forest clear cut lately? No, I didn't think so. So shut the fuck up, Jay-Z. Only real thugs know what it's like to murder millions for oil, or to have 1,000 bases stationed upon foreign soil, or how to profit off of every single global conflict. A materialist should idolize Eric Prince and not some dumb convict. I mean, the U.S. gave money to the Mujahideen to fight the Soviet Afghani puppet regime. The American dream only makes sense when you're asleep. The country's foreign policy makes many a mother's weep. Never elevate me. I'm not a prophet, teacher, or preacher, just another inquisitive creature trying to reach you with meager features and treat fajitas and international leaders. I'm all about the message, I'm pumping loud in your speakers, glamorizing, abusing scripts and all of that mess. Some pharmaceuticals kill more teens than illegal drugs in the U.S. What's left? Huh? You'll never know. You never know when you're gonna get wet. This man comes to catch a wreck with a tech just to get a rep. You never know, you never know, you never know. You never know when you're gonna get wet. This man comes to catch a wreck with a tech just to get a rep. You never know, you never know, you never know. Pack it up, pack it in. Let me
begin. It's Smoke, the one and only, fuck a phony Richter's grin, the record spins. With a smooth ass Big L sample, there's no need to scramble. There's ample time for examples of all the things that you can't take for granted. Like waking up in your sleep and driving safely through traffic, language sporadic and tragic events. Or a non-expansive Department of Defense event. New ways to resist the wicked powers that beat to break the death grip on the music industry. You see, my raps are much more than just words and beats. They embody information from my heart when I speak. I'll never be superior to you from just another traveler. Spectacular, vernacular, in my veins like vascular, oracular statements that some consider sententious though. And while some say time is endless, I meant it when I said you never know. You never know. You never know.